All right, this is kind of a lengthy video, granted, but we're talking about a very important movement, and that is the lunge. Now, we've got several different lunges in this program. There is the front lunge, that's the one we're going to speak of in this video primarily. But we also have lateral lunges, or crossover lunges, or diagonal, or rotational. In essence, we're driving our body away from where we were standing, stopping all that mass and momentum, and then restoring ourselves back to where we came from. That's in essence what a lunge really is. So in regards to the front lunge, we're just going to step forward. So sometimes it's called a forward lunge. So they're both synonymous, front lunge, forward lunge. Now, we're not going to necessarily be so concerned with arm action. That'll come in other exercises. And as you get more proficient with the mechanics of the legs, then we can start playing around with arm action as well. So with the forward lunge or front lunge, as I step forward, I don't have to take a world record leap with that leg. What I'm actually going to do is go just slightly beyond what my normal step is. Now, if you're just starting out or you're uncertain of your balance, a lunge could simply be a small step bending into that forward leg and pushing back. It doesn't have to be a world record. However, if you're fairly confident, you're feeling safe, and you want to challenge yourself, then we're going to step a little bit beyond what your natural stride length is. So as I step into this movement, my forward leg is going to flex at the ankle, flex at the knee, flex at the hip. I'll also feel that my pelvis begins to dip down in front. We call that an anterior tilt. Now, if I maintain a nice upright posture, I'm going to have to pull my rib cage kind of back with my shoulders just ever so slightly so that I can stay over my hips. So my spine is extending and my shoulders are drawn back. Great. So we got that part down. The one thing that we didn't discuss is which direction the knee is going to travel as it bends. Now, obviously, it's going to go forward, and there'll be different kinds of articles or videos out there that are going to encourage the knee to go straight ahead. That's fine. If you want to do that every now and then, go at it. But if you want to really work on gait mechanics and how the body naturally moves, then as you lunge forward, what happens is the arch of the feet begin to drop and the ankle internally rotates. And that ankle is going to drive the lower leg bones in that direction as well. So the knee, as it flexes and moves forward, is actually going to travel toward the position of over the big toe. And it's okay, I'll say this right now, it's okay to allow the knee to travel over the toes. That's another thing that we hear a lot about. You want to keep the knee back when doing a lunge. Well, I tell you, when we're running and when we're walking, the knee doesn't stay back over the toes. So if we're going to prepare for real life situations, whether it's just everyday life or on an athletic performance field of some sort or court, then we want to try and train the body to get ready for how it's actually going to move. So with that forward lunge, ankle flexes, knee flexes, hip flexes, pelvis tilts, knee travels toward the big toe. Beautiful. Torso stays upright. Can we get that all accomplished? Meanwhile, the back leg is going to stay extended at the knee. Granted, there's many times where you'll see people doing lunges and they bend into that back knee and they drop that knee down to the ground as kind of an indication of how deep to go into a lunge. But unless you're Groucho Marx, you're never walking around with both knees bent. As one knee bends, the other one extends. So we're going to put those mechanics into a front lunge. As that forward leg flexes at the knee, flexes to the hip, dorsal flexes at the ankle, the back leg is going to be plantar flexing at the ankle, extending at the knee, and extending at the hip. So you might be able to get a sense of all this tissue here, these muscles that connect perhaps to my pelvis, my spine, and down into my thigh are like a rubber band being stretched out or a slingshot, getting ready to send this leg flying to the next step. So if we're talking running, walking, any of those mechanics, it's essential that we try and get some experience of that hip to truly feel what it's like to extend, to get that knee to truly feel what it's like to extend. Because most of us in America spend too much time flexed, and for that matter, at the ankle flexed. So this is an opportunity to give the body something that it doesn't experience all that often. So with that front lunge, recapping one last time, forward leg, ankle is flexing. dorsiflexing, the knee flexing, the hip flexing, the pelvis tilting ever so slightly forward, the torso staying upright to maintain its position over the hips, and the head staying level, the back knee extending. Now, a good way of getting some true extension into this back knee is to put some pressure on the pad just behind the pinky toe, the fifth toe. Not the toe itself, but the pad that leads toward the toe. Try and get some pressure in there, and instantly you'll begin, most likely, feeling all that tissue open up. From there, we drive off the forward leg and come on back. There is your front lunge.